This is Pharmacology for Exam 4 with antibiotics. This is covering the last bit of the cephalosporins with the 4th and 5th generation cephalosporins. Starting out here with the 4th generation cephalosporins, we have cefepime, which is given intravenously, and it's used for hospitally acquired pneumonia. It covers all of the bacteria that are gotten by the 3rd generation cephalosporins, plus it also gets the Pseudomonas. Because of that reason, it's typically used for pneumonia, so respiratory infections. It is a way to think of the cefepimes is you think of cefepime, kind of sounds like cephepine, so pine, like a pine tree. So you think a pine tree is in a 4est, or it's a 4th generation 4est. So cephepime, 4est, and you think the top of a pine tree is really pointy, like an IV needle. I tried to draw that there, but I ran out of room. Next one is 5th generation cephalosporins, and the one I have here is ceftaroline. And ceftaroline is given also intravenously. And one way you can remember both these are intravenous, because we don't use 4th and 5th generation cephalosporins unless it's really serious. It's like an IV kind of situation. Think of IVs as being more serious. This is used for MRSA and skin infections, and it covers every bacteria except for the Pseudomonas and the Bacteroides. And so to remember this, I imagined ceftaroline. Here's something that's rolling, and it is, there's a needle at the bottom that's going to poke it with an IV. Maybe it's an image that'll help you remember that it's given intravenously, or you can just think of a serious thing. Okay, so that finishes up all the cephalosporins. Now it's going into the monobactams. There's only one monobactam that we have, and that's called aztrionam. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but aztrionam is for aerobic gram-negative bacteria, and it is a good alternative in case somebody has an allergic response to one of the other Bactam antibiotics. And apparently it lacks a second ring, and that's why they call it Monobactam, because it doesn't have 2 rings, I guess. And you don't give this to somebody if they have an allergic reaction to ceftazidime. And so the way that I remember monobactam aztrionam is aztrionam kind of sounds like Aztec, aztrionam, Aztec. So I drew here, this is an Aztec guy, and we know that it's aerobic for aerobic bacteria. So I have this Aztec with an arrow, and he has a frowny face and angry eyebrows because he's negative. It's a negative person, so we know it's for gram-negative. And it's the structure itself lacks a second ring, so he only has 1 ring on here. And this is a really horrible drawing of a Tasmanian devil, and he's scared of the Tasmanian devil because you're not supposed to use this if the person has an allergic reaction to ceftazidime. Taz kind of sounds like Tasmanian devil, and that should be a way to remember all the information for that one. Oh, also another thing, if you can't remember the 1 ring for the monobactam, I drew kisses all over his face with red lipstick to remember that mono is a kissing disease, so monobactam, aztrionam is a monobactam. Okay, next we have the carbapenams, and the carbapenams are resistant to most lactamases. And I actually was able to get all of them on here, but starting out here is imipenem, I don't know how to pronounce that. This one is combined with cilistatin, and it's used for both, by the way, all of these are carbapenams, I guess, as a class. So, and all of them seem to work on both gram-negative and gram-positive for both aerobic and anaerobic. So just kind of know that for all the carbapenams. Everything can fit in the car because it covers everything. That's the way to remember it. So the first one here is imipenem, or imipenem, I don't know how to say it. So I drew an I, me. So this is me, but I'm just a big I person. And you combine imipenem with cilistatin. So here is me with a silly kid. I don't remember this silly statin. There's a little kid dressed as a clown here, cilistatin. And I'm holding a pen. So I, me, pen, holding with cilistatin. So remember that. Okay, next we have Meropenem, and for this one I have a bone broken open with the marrow coming out and the pen sticking out. I have to remember meropenem, and this is being measured. It's a very short bone, so you remember it has a short half-life. Next we have Doropenem, And for this one, this is also has a short half-life, so it's a really short door. So it's for dwarves only. It's a door with a pen on it, and let's remember that one. And then lastly, over here we have ertapenem. Erta kind of sounds like hurtia pen. So here is a guy with a pen hurting someone. This is one that must have a really long half-life because you only use it once daily. So you just think this guy is going to say, I'm going to hurt you once daily for ertapem, hurt you, pen, hurting with a pen. And that's all of them.